Hey, it's Jeff Sauer here representing jeffalytics.com and analyticscourse.net. And today we're going to talk about building SEO dashboards inside of Google Analytics. Now this is a question that I get all the time from students of Analytics course. And this video is answering a question from Zoe, who's a student of Analytics course, who wanted to know how to make a better SEO dashboard in Google Analytics, or whether it was even possible. So she was taking on a client project and wanted to do good for her client. And we talk about it in this video. How do we do a modern SEO dashboard inside of Google Analytics? What tools are available to us? What tools has Google taken away from us? And how do we turn this into something coherent with the tools we have available? So if you've ever wanted to learn how to make an SEO dashboard inside of Google Analytics, you're going to want to watch the rest of this video because we're going to show you exactly how to do it with the equipment available to you right now inside of Google Analytics. And if you stick around, we're going to share with you a few tools that let you take your data outside of Google Analytics and deliver some really awesome reporting capabilities. So watch on for the rest of this video. You are not going to want to miss this awesome demonstration of dashboards in Google Analytics. So let's talk about Google Analytics SEO dashboards. So you're looking to build an SEO dashboard within Google Analytics. First of all, I have some bad news for you, and I wanted to start with that. The bad news is that Google doesn't make SEO reporting easily. There's not an SEO report section in Google Analytics. Compiling this data is not easy at all. There's no easy button for getting this done. And so if you're going to be doing SEO dashboards in Google Analytics, know that it's not going to start out easy, but there are some things you can do to make the process go more smoothly. Now, the reason why it's not easy is because most of your keyword data looks something like this. If you were to go and look at the keyword report in Google Analytics, you would see that most of your keywords are not provided. The majority of them are not provided, and they're not coming back anytime soon. And dashboards, if you create a dashboard, they can feel rigid. They can feel out of date. You don't have a chance to manipulate your data. You have to really have perfect data on the way in if you want to have a good-looking dashboard on the way out. And so basically the way that people have always built dashboards in Google Analytics are dying on the vine. And yet people still want to know this information. Obviously, SEO is more popular than ever. People want search results more than they ever did. Google Analytics still has an amazing market share. So all these conditions out there make people want to know this information. And so in this video, we want to talk about some alternatives. And not only do they want this information, but they wanted that information yesterday. And so in this video, I want to talk about some ways that you can get that data back. But first, let's start with a question from Analytics course customer Zoe. Now, Zoe's in the Analytics course by Jeffalytics, and as she was getting started, she said, I developed a website for somebody who all along said they wanted to be able to find SEO keywords and track their performance. And she feels like she's coming up short because she wasn't able to deliver on that report. She wasn't able to create a great SEO dashboard within Google Analytics and wants to know what her options are. And so I'm putting this video together to help answer Zoe's question and help anybody else out there who might be in the same situation where people are asking you for an SEO dashboard. People are asking you for this data and information about SEO, but you don't really know where to go. And the biggest question is, what type of SEO dashboards can we deliver inside of Google Analytics and or using our Google Analytics data? So let's investigate. Okay, so here we are inside of Google Analytics. You might notice that this screen looks really small. We're just trying to squeeze it all in there, but this is a pretty standard report for Google Analytics. If we're in the campaign section, we go to organic keywords, and this is what we see. A whole bunch of nothing, a whole bunch of not provided keywords. 96 to 97% of them are not provided. There's a few that trickle in, but they're really not doing us a lot of good because there's not a lot of trends you can analyze when it's less than 3% of your traffic. But we can see where the revenue comes in. We can see actually 77% of revenue comes from not provided. There is some insights into where revenue is coming from keywords that are in here, but it's still not the greatest report. I can't really do much with this, and you probably can't really do much with this either. And so this is a standard SEO report that we would look at in Google Analytics. And if you only look here, you're going to find that it's pretty underwhelming. You can't really take action. You can't optimize for the 77% of your revenue if you don't know what keywords are there. Now you can go and you can look at landing pages and you can see that, and then it tells you which pages from an SEO perspective are giving you some more data, but it's still not really giving you a lot to work on. You can't work with something that's that significant of a percentage. It's not really much of a segment, not much you can do with it. And so what people have started to gravitate toward is looking at the Search Console reports in Google Analytics to see if this can make up for the data that they've lost in their search query reports. So if you go to Search Console, then you go under Queries, which is very similar or very close to where we'd have our organic keywords, we can see here that there are several keywords people are searching for that are causing them to find this website. Now this is the Google merchandise store we're looking at, so you can see here a lot of the keywords are around Google and YouTube merchandise. And so that's what the Search Console report looks like, but if you notice there's no extra columns here around things like e-commerce. There's no extra data that helps people tie things together as to what they searched for and then what they did on your website. So this is somewhat underwhelming as well. It's more granular in data than the previous keyword report we looked at, but it doesn't really give us the answers we're looking for either because we can't tell how this affected outcomes. And so it's like we have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it's pretty disjointed. Now, the role of the analyst or Zoe's role as a web developer, whatever your role is, people aren't going to really be satisfied with you saying, okay, well, I'm not sure where to find this stuff, or hey, I looked and here's what we have. And they might not be able to, they might be still looking for more. And so you got to keep on digging and try to find what answers you can really answer and how do you build the ultimate SEO dashboard or one that you're comfortable with for your organization. So one thing I like to do is I go to Search Console and I go to the landing pages report and I can see here the conversion rate and how people are coming in by landing page. And so this is giving us a little bit more extra data. It's telling us what pages people are coming in. But as you can see, this is very similar to the homepage report. We know that the homepage is ultimately what's bringing in a lot of organic search. It tells us the percentage. These numbers don't match up entirely, but it's still telling us that this is where people are coming in from in order to buy. So there's not much we can really do with this either. It's a little bit better, but it's not great. It's not perfect. We know what we're ranking for. We probably know that they're coming in on our homepage because that's the majority of the revenue that's coming in. But other than that, it's frustrating, and I can understand why people become frustrated as they go through and work with Google Analytics. Now, the other question is, how do you create a dashboard of this data and what's available to you? And so the next thing we'll do is we'll go into dashboards in Google Analytics and we'll take a look at the dashboard options and see if we can even get this data together and what a good SEO dashboard might look like. Okay, so here we are in the dashboard section. Then I took the liberty of creating a blank dashboard just so we could take a look at this thing. This is just a test dashboard. And within here, we can see that there's the ability to select metrics out of the dashboard and add widgets to our site. Now, the most common one that we want to type in is probably keyword, right? So if you type in keyword, you can see that they won't allow us to type in the keyword. You can put in the query. They don't allow us to put in the query. You can type in the search, and it basically only deals with the site search functionality in Google Analytics. So there's not a lot we can discern from playing around with these widgets and these dashboards, but I don't think that it means that having an SEO dashboard is dead in the water. Now, I have a SEO dashboard that I've created in the past that actually works pretty well against the Google Merchandise Store, so let's take a look at that. And so here's a dashboard that's within the Google Merchandise Store account that you can take a look at and understand how SEO performance works. Now, I can't edit this dashboard and show you exactly what makes up these items, but basically you can see that there is an SEO dashboard that's possible to be created within Google Analytics, and it's something that you can import into your account. Now, how do you get these added into your account? If you go into the dashboard section of Google Analytics, you can create a new dashboard, and then when you're in here, you're going to want to choose the Import from Gallery option. Click on Import from Gallery, and what's going to happen is they're going to give you a gallery of all kinds of different items you can add into your Google Analytics account. But when you see here, you want to specify around SEO, so you can type in SEO up here and then hit enter, and you can see just the SEO things that are out there. Now, Google Analytics themselves have created one. There's one for SEO, dashboard, content, and keywords. Click on these things and you can start to see whether or not it's going to work or not. And we'll add this to our account in just a second. But the one thing I want you to notice is that a lot of these things haven't been updated in what's now 4.5 to 5 years. And so even if they're doing all right, it's based on an old way of doing Google Analytics. It's back when Google Plus was prominent. You might not be able to find exactly what you need. But there are a lot of people who have imported these things and maybe they've gotten some value out of it. So if you find a dashboard that you like, you can just click on import and then you can create it within the account that you want to view it in. And now we have Kevin's SEO dashboard up here, but you notice that keywords, there's no keywords anymore that they're showing up. Those things have been taken off of the ability to do dashboards. Those are things that were available back in 2013, but they're not available now. So you can see here that there is the ability to look at some SEO stuff, but it's not nearly as useful as it might have been at one point in time. And so ultimately, that's just the problem that goes in with these dashboards, is that you can create them, but they're rigid and they don't have a lot of customization options, and most people haven't updated them in a while. Now, why haven't they updated these in a while? For the most part, it's because they've moved over to Google Data Studio. So if you go to datastudio.google.com, you can create reports within Google Data Studio. Now, the first thing you'll probably notice is they have one set up for Google Search Console for the Google Analytics demo account. So let's take a look at that and see if this can get us the answers we're looking for. So here we are within the Search Console report. Now, first of all, this is just somebody else's report. It doesn't let you change the data or anything. What you need to first do is click on Use Template. And then within here, you can choose which data source you want. We're going to keep it as the demo account. We're going to create our report, and now we have our own version of this report. And you might find that this is super useful for you. You might find that it's not useful at all, but basically you have your ability to copy this exact, very pretty looking report and put it into your Data Studio. And then you can make the changes you need to. And once you add this to your account, you can go ahead and replace your own data and make it look how you want it to look. Now, in a future video, if you like this and you want to learn how to create these dashboards, maybe in a future video we will build out a Search Console report in Google Data Studio. And so I want you to vote in the YouTube comments and let us know if that's something you'd like to see. And finally, if you want to get some of your keyword data back and build that dashboard right within Google Analytics, you might want to try a tool called Keyword Hero. Now, what Keyword Hero does is it allows you to get some of your keyword data back. They say that with a great deal of accuracy, they're going to give you your keyword data back. And so if you're interested in learning more about this, we'll give you a link later in this video. But these are the ways that you can get some of your data back and start to build a dashboard out. The more advanced you get, the more you take your data out of Google Analytics and start to do configuration, the prettier you can make it look and the more options you have, but also the more complex it gets. So depending on your skill level and how in-depth you want to get, you can either do a basic dashboard using the gallery import we showed you in Google Analytics, or you can get it outside of Google Analytics. You can do Keyword Hero, you can do things like Google Data Studio, and you can get better reports and more accurate. So basically, depending on how much time you have and how complex of a solution and how accurate of a solution you want to build, you have options. And that's really what I wanted to demonstrate in this video for you. So there you have it, some alternatives to just creating a standard, simple, easy report in Google Analytics, giving you a little bit more of your data back, giving you some more insight that you can share with your customers or within your stakeholders or just within your organization. You can use the Google Analytics Gallery to get an SEO dashboard. You can graduate to Google Data Studio. You can pull in the sample report that Google gives you, and then you can try to butt that up against your own data and see how things look for you. And finally, you can look at the Keyword Hero beta and see if that's going to help you accomplish your needs. And as we end this video, I want to put it back to you. Do you have any other tricks that you use in order to get great SEO dashboards? I would love for you to leave a comment on this YouTube video or on the blog post that we have at Analytics Course. Let us know what you think. Let us know if there's any techniques that we're missing. Or also, if you want to see me go in depth with Google Data Studio, teach you more about how that works, see what features are there, and really get to know and understand Google Data Studio, this would be a great opportunity to do that. And finally, as always, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get updated with each of our 90 videos in our 90-day challenge, as well as stay up to date with all the greatest and latest news, updates, and techniques that we share with you at Jeffalytics. You can do that at youtube.com/c/Jeffalytics. And I look forward to sharing our next analytics video with you next week. And stay tuned for tomorrow as well, where our next video is going to come about running an agency business. And I'll see you then.